Consider this. You get home after a long day of work and you decide you want to play some Rocket League. And you're like, hey, to scratch that competitive, let's play some competitive. I could play threes. I could play maybe 1v1s, but no. You decide you want to play 2v2 in Rocket League. And then afterwards you realize the mistake you've made, right? You queue into a twos game, you have a great time, you keep queuing, and all of a sudden it turns into probably the most awful experience of Rocket League that you've ever had. And you think to yourself, why would I possibly ever do this to myself? This is the worst experience I've ever had. And so, because of that, and because of the arguably strong opinions I have about this subject and the 2v2 playlist in general, I have decided to make this video to talk about that and to share my experiences with some of probably the worst games of Rocket League I have ever played in my entire life with you. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and be angry with me, please. Okay. I would have to venture to say that the twos playlist in Rocket League is arguably the single worst playlist in the entire game, if not one of the worst game mode playlists in any game ever. Every time, I tell you, every time I queue into this game mode, I encounter arguably the worst, most skillless sweats this game has ever seen. And I'm only in Champ 2. I've only ever peaked Champ 3 in 2s. I competed in college in Rocket League for 3 years and got as high as Grand Champ 2 in 3s and Champ 3 in 1s, and yet the only game mode I cannot progress in any way, shape, or form is 2s. And I guarantee you there is a great reason for that, if not from the complete overinflated egos 2s players have, which are obviously I have one as well, to the lack of understanding of how fundamentally good Rocket League is supposed to be played, to a complete misunderstanding of how twos is supposed to be played. These players take it upon themselves day in and day out to try and prove to themselves and everyone else in the lobby that they are mechanically the best, soundest, and most impressive ones players ever. So I have to ask, why not just do that in ones? Why play twos? Twos is a team-based playlist like threes. Why are we trying so hard to prove how good we are mechanically or how well we do in 50-50 scenarios? Why are we not working and improving our team play and passing skills to try and work better with a teammate? How mind-numbingly egotistical do you have to be to look at the twos playlist and think, yeah, this is the perfect place to show how good I am individually? That's not how that should work. Go play ones if you want to do that. Okay. Okay, I took a second to calm down. I was going on a bit of a rant there. I want you all to watch these next two twos games with me because they have to be objectively the worst games of twos I have played in my entire 7 years of playing this clown-ass game. And you'll see why in literally just a couple seconds. Keep in mind, this is Champ 2 rank, so these players are by no means bad compared to the average player. But good God, did they make an effort to try and be equal or worse to silvers in these games. I kid you not. So we begin our journey then with our first twos game of the night for this recording, but not for my game session, as you can see in the top right. We start off immediately, beautifully, with a goal by yours truly, which honestly probably couldn't have done much better in that situation. But after that, we get a little bit iffy here and there. So initially, I have to defend against this attack, which goes fine. Opponent steals the boost there. I try and go for it, get blocked, go for opponent boost. My teammate misses his 50, which is not bad. That's not a problem, right? I royally screwed this up. Barely make the save here. I'm not sure how that works. And then we just get unlucky and we concede. It happens. It's not that big of a deal, right? I'm coming off 2 wins at this point. I'm not too upset about that. These next couple sequences where I start getting really upset about my teammate and how they're playing, right? So I make a mistake here. Teammate clears it up. We're still fine. It's not that big of a deal. I start to have some urgency to get back because it's a 2v1 in that situation. Grab some boost in the back right-hand corner. Go up to challenge and don't beat out my opponent, sorry. And now I'm just waiting to see what my teammate does. He gets a 50 and he goes straight up, so not that big of a deal. Don't have to do anything. Then I go up for the save, and bro just clears me out of the way and forces us to concede a goal. Why? I'm going up. Why is he going for that? In what universe do you need to go for that when you see your teammate going up? Like, I don't understand. Anyways, we go for next kickoff. I'm the one taking the kickoff, so I go for it. I try to direct it towards the left. I fail, sort of, but then teammate takes my boost mid, even though that's supposed to be reserved for the person taking kickoff. I also screw up getting the back left-hand boost. We didn't talk about that. Get the save, pinch it over to my teammate, who gets to 50, and probably maybe could have tried scoring. Instead, I whiff entirely. Really good showing there from me. I go to try and challenge. Teammate is still next to me for some reason, sniffing my ass for whatever reason, I don't know. But launches it upfield. I'm getting challenged. I have to go for this because teammate's heading back. Punch it back upfield to try and get a clear for it. Completely whiff the challenge, whiff the bump as well. So I just go for mid boost and try and get back. There's no mid boost because teammate has helpfully taken it from me. I get a save here, try and direct it forward. Opponent gets there first, launches it towards net. Teammate doesn't need to make a save and can't anyways, so I just watch the play unfold. I believe teammate hits it here, hits it forward. I'm trying to wait for the bump. It never comes, so I have a chance to go up the wall and send it backwards. Instead, I send it right to the opponent. Teammate has the reaction of a slug and entirely misses the save, so we've conceded twice now. So at this point, I'm getting a little bit upset because, I mean, we're 2 goals down after starting off really well, controlling the game most of the time. So I decide to take matters into my own hands, sort of. I send it back, hoping for a teammate to take it. He does. I wait mid, sort of left, to try and see if he'll pass it. He does try to, at least. I need to give some space because opponent's still going for it. I make a really bad touch towards the right, but both my opponents miss, which gives me a shot on net. So I take it and score it, which was really good. A decent play by me, but it's still not over because this game is not over. And teammate, trust me, my teammate decided to pull a few more goodies out of his bag towards the end of the game. Anyway, after that kickoff, opponent takes control. Teammate misses. I make a save, which was crucial. Otherwise, we would have been down 2 goals again. I go up the wall to try and go for a shot. Completely mess that up. Opponent takes boost, almost demos me. I have to go back. Teammate has once again helpfully taken mid boost from me, I believe. I didn't actually properly see. So they make a challenge. I'm sitting in net trying to wait, see what happens. Opponent launches at net, so I go towards back, towards corner. I manage to make the save, and then teammate bumps me out of the way because he was trying to go for the same thing, which I guess in that situation isn't too unpredictable. It just caught me off guard because I wasn't really expecting it. I make a touch and then decide to make a pinch up the side of the field, try and get it up the field out of danger. That works. I grab the boost, decide to go for a demo, and then get back out of it. At this point, I decide to try and go for the ball, and teammate ever helpfully decides to try and go for it, throws me completely off. I whiff completely, and teammate shouldn't have been there in the first place. I managed to make a save here. At this point, I can admit I am completely ball chasing because I have lost all faith and trust in my teammate. Have to make another stop here. Teammate can make a good save. And then opponent decides to sit under me because our opponents were starting to be a little bit toxic at this point because they were noticing how annoyed I was at my teammate. But I score. We score an equalizer. So, you know, all good, right? It should be fine, right? No. Trust me, it gets worse. So we continue on to the 7th kickoff of the game now at this point because there's been 6 goals that have been scored. I go up for this ball to try and challenge. I send it upfield. Teammate will go for it. Opponent will get for it first. I butchered my own positioning. That was really bad. So I pinched out towards teammate to get it out of harm's way. Do that well. Grab some pads. And then watch as teammate completely wisp. But I'm here and we score. Great. Now we're in the lead, right? With 45 seconds left, we're up 1. Obviously, you can tie, right? But we shouldn't have to, right? Because, like, come on. We're in the lead. We've come back 3 goals. So I send a teammate. He sends it up. I decide to go for a touch. Teammate cuts me off again, even though he sees me going up. Which, why are you going for that in the first place after you just get rabbed? But whatever. Who am I to judge? So opponent decides to try and flick. Teammate cuts him off. I'm thinking to myself, great. We're going to actually win this game because teammate's actually thinking for a change. But, you know, as it has it, I hit the wall. Can't really get a good landing. Teammate's nowhere near to try and cover it up. Has still not grabbed the 100 boost. Now he grabs it, sends it forward, and here, with 10 seconds left, teammate is all the way on the other side of the field. We concede because bro has no urgency to get back. So with 6 seconds left, we concede because I can't 2v1 against someone who's trying to demo me. Win this kickoff, try and go for the boost, miss the boost, can't go for it. Teammate tries to go for it, also gets beat, hits the ground at 0. Great, that's fine. Now, kickoff. Decent enough kickoff. It goes towards opponent, unfortunately. The demo sends me back for some reason, and teammate is nowhere to be seen, so I miss the save, and we lose the game. Why? Why does it work like that? And how? In what universe does that happen? You come back 3 goals, and then by the incompetency of your teammate and some freakish physics weirdness, you lose the game in overtime 5 seconds in. How does that happen? And why do these people continuously play 2s if they don't know how to play 2s? It just makes no sense. So anyways, we continue on to the next game, which I will say is a lot more egregious than the first. I'm not even going to make any funny edits or cuts to this because this was just painful to watch back. So teammate starts off by going backwards, trying to get the boost, does so, and launches the ball forward a bit. I'm sitting mid because I'm waiting for a pass. Instead, teammate takes it all the way to himself, and, you know, fair play, whatever. Gets beat out by the opponent. I tried to take it mid, mess up my touch a little bit, but I can still keep going. So I carry it over. Opponent puts it into the corner, and we score the first goal. Again, within, like, what, 30 seconds? So all these games start off really well. I take the kickoff. I try to take a kickoff, have a horrible kickoff. At least in this game, my teammate is there to cover up my mistake, unlike the last game. So he covers up my mistake. I completely get the wrong touch that I didn't want. But, again, my teammate is there, tries to go for a ceiling shot. You'll notice this a lot throughout this game. My teammate focused a lot more on mechanics than actually good team play. Anyways, we're defending, obviously, and I don't know why my opponents are going up trying to go for a shot off the wall when they have clear ball. And then teammate just randomly decides to back pass away from me while I'm still in the middle coming forward. I completely with my touch. That's on me. Allows my teammate to go for it, get another touch. I'm waiting to see if I can do anything. I can't, so I wait. Pop it over one, pop it over both. Teammate sends it towards the mid. I'm nowhere near. If this were 3s, that would have been a goal, but it's not. My opponent takes it up to the side, tries to get a pinch, doesn't get it. Teammate is able to get the touch, and so I go forward with him to see if I can do anything. He tries to flip reset again, going for all the mechanics, but this time it works out. Teammate gets a goal. We're 2-0 up in 1.5 minutes. So you're thinking, Nath, how can this go wrong? There's nothing going on here. Everything's working smoothly. And then my teammate does that shit. Why is he faking when he's going for a kickoff diagonally? Why? Who does that? With no communication, too. So anyways, opponent launches it towards net. I, for some reason, go up for that, so I have to recover, try and go for it, miss. Teammate is at least there to cover up my mistake again. I go back for boost and back left, and it gets sent towards me so I can have a clear shot on net. Unfortunately, the opponent is in net, so I can't do anything about it. So I'm continuing waiting for touches. Teammate gets a demo, gets the clear. I try to go for a shot, completely mess that up. That's on me. I take full responsibility for that. That should have been 3-0. It's not. So we keep going. Now my opponent has a good ball, has only me to beat. Teammate in support. My teammate is there. I get the save, launch it up. So far, so good. It's going fine. You think to yourself, how could this go wrong? Well, there's the first indicator. Teammate goes underneath me to try and cut me off. So that's great. We love that already. And so I'm just waiting, sitting back, waiting. The teammate's trying to go for a bump while I'm going for a shot. I miss. That's okay. And then I try to go back for a boost, and teammate decides to go back for a boost as well. So we're both in the back now. I bump the opponent, but miss my touch. Teammate gets a touch. I try to go for a demo. I miss on both players. My teammate goes for a shot, misses. I get a little bit of bump. So I sit back and wait. I'm not able to get the touch, so I make a touch back, and teammate is able to save it, thankfully. But none of us have boost, so we concede the goal there because of my own poor touch and my teammates' lack of boost. It's fine. We're only 1 goal down. But I kid you not, this is where all of the fun begins. Because this guy seemed to have it out after conceding that goal that we were going to lose. So I make a decent touch, and teammates in mid right now, goes for it, doesn't really get a good touch, but follows it up again. Sends it back towards me for some reason, even though I have 0 boost, and then goes upfield on 0 with nothing supporting us in the back, with no way to defend if anything went awry. Bro just decided to go forward, so I have to make another save, We're a minute and a half left in the game, and I'm thinking to myself, we can win this as I get a demo. Teammate then takes it up towards the wall, tries to go for a psycho off the sidewall for some reason. I'm not really sure what he's doing there, and I don't understand what's going on. So I make a backflip to try and get it mid. Teammate is on my ass sniffing me for some reason, has to waste time getting towards the ball mid. I wait mid for a touch, and he's just trying to go for fancy mechanics again instead of making a pass. And that's what I was talking about earlier. These people just go for mechanics and 1v1 mechanics instead of going for team plays and trying to learn how to play with team. So I have to wait as my teammate tries to make up his mind what he's trying to do. With 50 seconds left, we can still win this game. He launches the crossbar. I try to make a shot. I miss. The demo gets had, but our other opponent is there. I'm rushing back towards the side. Teammate can get a touch. But again, we're less than 45 seconds towards the end. We can win this game. So what happens? Right? First of all, I completely whiffed that shot. That should have been in. Same scenario as last game. I could have had the dagger. I didn't. So I'm trying to go back to get in a spot for a save. Still nothing bad happening. I get demoed. Teammate, instead of going back in net to defend, decides to go up for the ball off the wall for some reason. I don't understand why he did that. There was no reason that you could have just gone back. And instead of doing anything productive, the dude goes back and fakes it with no communication on a diagonal kickoff again. Why do you do that? And so I'll just let the last 15 seconds play out because we ended up losing the game. And after that, I'll talk for a little bit. But, like, these people just don't think about anything that they're doing and just don't think about anything that's going on. They just try to go for mechanics and try to go for fancy plays when realistically in twos, you should be just focusing on team play. There's nothing else to worry about. So why are you always going for mechanics and solo plays? You lose games that way. They all do this. They all play like that. It makes no sense. In any case, I maintain my stance. Twos is by far the worst playlist in Rocket League and probably any game anywhere whatsoever. I don't understand half the things that these people think they're doing or try to do. And I think I'm going to have to take a break from twos for a while and just continue playing threes like I usually do. Maybe focus on ones for a bit. Because this shit is just mind-numbing at this point. So, regardless, debate in the comments. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Fight me. I don't care. I know I have my stance. I'm keeping it. And with that, I bid you all farewell, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.